Hi and welcome on the Hands-On Time. My name is Mal and I'm doing watch reviews for you. So today the topic of today is about this wonderful brand that is coming to us from Japan, which I had the honor, have been, sent a watch from, and I got to keep the watch. And of course, I'm like, me, I'm unbiased about things. I'm gonna say whatever I want to say about the watch. But before we go, any further into the review, we need to settle something about this company, which is the pronunciation of the brand company. Okay, I saw a lot of videos, and in every video, they had some trouble, to pronounce this brand. So why not asking to a friend from Japan that actually, knows how to read the Japanese language and speaks Japanese language because she's from Japan. Hiromi, please settle this topic once and for all for the watch community. Thanks to you. So hi guys, this is Hiromi from Japan, and I asked Hiromi to help me on the brand name because the name is really hard to pronounce. So Hiromi, how do you say the brand in Japan?
So the right name to pronounce brand is Kuoe.
Thank you so much, Hiromi. Thank you, Hiromi, for settling, this for the watch community. Thanks to you and your husband. You guys are a wonderful couple. So the brand name is Kuoe. Kuoe from Kyoto, Japan. So the DNA of Kuoe dates back from 2010 with Uchimura, the founder. He was a student in London and entered a shop of vintage watches. He immediately fell in love with mechanical watches from the 40s and the 70s. And for him, this classical design was like a revelation. So he finished university, went to work with a watch company in Kyoto to learn about the craft of horology. And it's in 2020 that the Kuoe company was born. The first model was the Old Smith's 90001, a model focused on a classic design, which will be the primary target in Kuoe's creations that were highly influenced by vintage companies like Smith's watches, for example. The cost, what is the cost of these watches? So you have the 001, the first one, which is at $243. The 002, which varies from $318 to $433, whether, there are differences in bracelets, straps, dials, dates or no dates. Then you have the Oldborn, the 003 Oldborn, which is a female watch, which is at $218. Then you have the Royal Smith series, so the 006 would be at $498, and the 008, which is at $658, which is the watch I'm going to present to you today. So what are the specifications of this watch? So first, the packaging. You have a wonderful packaging. This box comes inside a pouch, as you can see, which is made out of a really good material, honestly. Really satisfying, really nice pouch, really nice touch, honestly. It's a wonderful packaging. So you cannot open it from here, okay? It works like a drawer. So you go and pull this out. So the watch is supposed to be in here, and in here you have the second strap. That's why I'm opening it to you. They are giving you, a second strap in brown. So let's have a look at the watch. There it is, with the black strap, a black quick release strap, as you can see, which is wonderful, by the way. So the Royal Smith, this watch, okay, the Royal Smith 90008 is the flagship model of Kuoe's Royal Smith line. Has been designed from scratch, so not inspired by something that existed before, with a 40s classical Japanese style, and you will understand why. So what do we have here? An automatic watch, of course, with a hand-winding system, which is hackable. Citizen Mayota caliber 1939. Okay, they made this choice for the movement, which is a fantastic movement, by the way. A domed sapphire glass with AR coating in front and a sapphire in the back as well. So water resistance would be 5 atmospheres. So it means you don't go and swim with this watch. It's absolutely not made for it. It's a dress watch. And the power reserve would be 42 hours. So the case size is 34 by 34 millimeters with a thickness of 11 millimeters. Okay, the lug-to-lug distance, according to my calculation, would be 41.13. The bandwidth in here is 18 millimeters, and it's made out of cow leather. Okay, so the case is of course absolutely entirely made of 316L stainless steel, and they chose to do it in gold with a PVD, coated in gold, and you also have it in silver. Okay, the crown, by the way, before I forgot, let me try and zoom it for you. I don't have a lot of light today, I'm sorry. Is signed, as you can see. Okay, and the rotor is decorated for the occasion. As you can see, Kuoe, made in Japan. Really, really, really nice touch. Let me show you the other side. There you are. Beautiful, beautiful. Before I continue, I need to talk about this movement, because something was referenced on their website, and I think it's important, to mention it. So the Mayota caliber 9039 that is inside is a high beat movement that oscillates at 28,800 times per hour. Okay, that's a high beat movement, guys, which translates into 8 times a second, which makes this movement really, really precise. The thickness of the caliber 9039 that was revived after 30 years by Mayota is a mere 3.9 millimeters, so really, really, really thin movement. And apparently this movement is unrivaled, even by the Swiss-made ETA 2824. So as you can see, guys, this movement does not joke. Okay, I thought it was really important, to mention that. So the good and the bad, what's good, what's bad about this watch. So let's talk about the good thing first. The first company which I like all of the watches. Okay, all of the watches referenced on their website I love. Okay, and this is the first for me. The classical design of these watches is just something you cannot walk by without noticing clearly. Here in France, for example, there is a real hype about Kuoe, and you would be able to see on every watch forums many persons presenting their new Kuoe watch. In a country where elegance is something that counts, I'm not really surprised. The size. Finally, a company that listened not only to small wrist guys, okay, but also to people that really were looking for that classical style watches that could be revived only in its classical size, if you see what I mean. Like many, many, many people that I see in Paris, beautiful outfits, they have it all. The pocket square, the tie, the vest, the blazer. And like the only thing that really looks goofy on them is the watch, too big of a size and doesn't match, the outfit. And I think, a classical outfit looks better with a classical size watch. Quite simple. And for example, you have the Cartier Tank, for example, the beautiful Cartier Tank Solo, which is a wonderful, wonderful watch, the quintessence, of the élégance à la française. And then, after many years, they released the XL version of the Cartier Tank Solo, and that watch is ugly, that watch really looks goofy on people. That's what I think, So you see two different eras. The Cartier Tank Solo, when it was like really nice, elegant and beautiful, and then the XL version, just because, of the trend of bigger watches. I thought that was a bummer, but I'm not planning to buy it, so I'm okay. So what else do we have? We have the price. Guys, we have the price for a Japanese watches, made in Japan and assembled in Japan with well-sourced Japanese movement, not clones, not B-stock movement, but well-regulated Japanese movements for a domestic company. They are really accessible for all budgets out there. So I think, that all of these points are wonderful. So let's talk about the watch. So new creation from scratch, I love the pillowcase with this flatness, on the bezel that gives the watch a dimension that you could find on the Gerald styles of watches. You know, the dial texture is incredibly well executed in when you compare it with, you know, with companies that are doing things that resemble like a plaster wall, for example. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Here it's really subtle. The case and hands match absolutely well with these numerals created by Breguet. So let's talk about Breguet a little bit. So Breguet is the inventor of the tourbillon complication, of the moon hand that you see here, but also these numerals that are in the psychic of every Japanese watch enthusiast since the beginning of Japanese horology, because they were used in the creation of the Seiko Laurel, the first wristwatch ever produced in Japan by Seiko. So I'm not surprised that Kuoe used them in this beautiful flagship of theirs, because Breguet numerals is something that Japanese horology completely made their own, and that is considered to be a classic element of their history in horology. They choose leaf hands, which are beautifully complementing the rest of the gold elements, and the counterbalance on the second hand is a nice touch, I think, as well. The text is really well balanced. The gold indices looks wonderful and match exactly with the center of every Breguet numerals. The pattern around the case is again a classical pattern used by Patek Philippe or François Paul Journe from FP Journe. The antique style of crown used is super satisfying to operate. Super satisfying. So how to wear it? This watch is clearly a watch that is super versatile because of that sort of a sport aspect given by the bezel. So it could be worn with suit, but easily worn with casual outfits or nice jean and a nice jacket. And there you go for the wrist shot. So 16.5 millimeters. My centimeters, sorry, I'm always mistaking millimeters and centimeters in all my videos, I'm sorry. So 16.5 centimeters of circumference, my wrist are, and well, it speaks on its own. Like, look at this, beautiful, beautiful. You see 41.13, and it wears even bigger. Beautiful. It was like a 36 millimeters, you know, a Rolex Datejust. And something else I have to say is the leather strap. The leather strap is wonderful. Okay, you don't have to break in anything. It's really, really that comfortable. The buckle is signed, by the way. I'm sorry, I forgot to say. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful size. A gentleman's size, a refined size. You know, a classical size. Beautiful, and I'm tending, you know, to go on that type of watches. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that. Really thin. Looks marvelous. Marvelous. Premium and even luxurious, I think. This watch is not their flagship for nothing. They put, you know, everything in this watch. Beautiful. So you see, small watches are really nice and really needs to make a big comeback. Really, really nice. I love it. I love it. I love this size. Beautiful. And there you go for the wrist shot. There will be no loom shot because this watch doesn't have loom, and that's perfectly normal and acceptable because we don't want to have loom on this type of watch anyway. Beautiful. Really nice. So guys, let's take a moment. So have a look at the case. Really, really beautiful case. Cushion case, pillowcase, call it whatever you like. Really nice bezel. The bezel is really, like I said, like a Gerald type of bezel. I love it. Really nice. The Breguet numerals were applied. Okay. Look at the beauty of these numerals. Wonderful. I love how they balance the text. Royal Smith Automatic. On the downside, sorry, you have the name of the company, Kuoe. The city, Kyoto. The dial is an absolute wonder. okay? A sandy-like dial, but really subtle, you know? Like I said, it's not like this company that are putting, things that resembles plaster walls on their watches. Here, it's really refined, beautiful. Look at the indices. Really nice. I love this watch. Really satisfying crown with the dents, as you can see, signed, like I said, signed crown. Beautiful crown. Let's have a look at the back. Let's have a look at the movement. Kuoe, made in Japan, on the rotor. Beautiful watch. Japanese premium movement inside, which is absolutely the case with that wonderful caliber. All stainless steel 316L. What else do we have? Royal Smith, the name of the line. The reference number 90008, and made in Japan. Connotation, of course, 5 bar atmospheres of water resistance. Let's try and dive inside to see the Japan-made connotation, which is on the downside of the watch. Really hard to focus here, yeah. Hope that you can see it. The hands, leaf hands they choose to put on the watch. Beautiful. In gold as well. The wonderful bracelet, that's what I'm calling, what I call the bracelet, honestly. You don't have to break in. Like the first try and you're comfortable. No need to break in whatsoever. And companies like, Seiko, for example, should really, learn learn from Kuoe's bracelet. Because honestly, the bracelet that they are giving to you are wonderful. And you have this one for a more, formal outfits, and you have the brown one, because you have a quick release system. You can change them really easily. The brown one for a more casual look with the watch. Really nice. Beautiful watch. Honestly, I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven with this watch. It's a beautiful watch. So final thoughts. Well, as you have seen, I had nothing bad to say about the watch in the good and the bad section, There was nothing bad to say about the watch, and this is also a first, This watch company is, what can I say about Kuoe? Kuoe is a breath of fresh air. That's what it is in the horological world, period. Not only we now have a company that does things for small wrists, and that comes back, to the roots of what a gentleman should wear in terms of sizing. But also, it's Japanese and it's affordable, So my advice is go and get yourself a Kuoe, you won't regret it. On a more personal level, I have a question to you, my dear Hochimura, the founder. I'm talking to the founder. Maybe he will see the video. Is that you did not use the 007 number yet. You used the 008 for this wonderful, beautiful watch that I have in my hands right now, but not the 007. What if you would do a diver vintage style of watch in the same proportion, like the Tag Heuer F1, but in 34 millimeters, which, by the way, I'm not a fan of the Tag Heuer F1. Just the size, I'm just talking about the size. What if you would create it under the 007 number? What would it look like, I'm curious. Like maybe like a 50 Fathom, or like an old, Subby from Rolex, or like nothing else out there. An original creation that I would be curious to see and review. So, yeah, that's a question that I had, but that's just me. So, Kenji from Kuoe Global, thank you, my friend. What an honor you made me, by sending me this watch. And Hiromi, of course, many thanks to you and your husband for clearing up the pronunciation for us all. So like, subscribe, comment, and as I am always saying, you take care of you, because nobody will do it for you. Cheers. Bye bye.